Good morning to Doctor and hi everyone. My name is Beeqk and mention number is 304231. Now I will explain about questions 1. Question 1 is us find the confidence interval for the population mean at 0.99 degree of confidence. We have the information which is sample mean is equal to 5.5 years, sample standard deviation is 1.1 years, n equal to 42 and df is equal to 41. So we get t is 2.701 which is get from t table. We substitute all information into the confidence interval formula which is sample mean plus minus t times s divided by square root n. So we get 5.042 and 5.958. So we conclude that the 99% of confidence interval for the population mean are 5.042 and 5.958. Questions 2a. Difference between null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a statement about the value of a population's parameter developed for the purpose of testing numerical evidence, while alternative hypothesis is a statement that is accepted if the sample data provides sufficient evidence that the null hypothesis is false. Null hypothesis is always presumed to be true, while the alternative hypothesis has the burden of proof. The symbol like equal, greater than and equal to, smaller than and equal to always the part of null hypothesis, while the symbol like not equal, greater than, or smaller than are always the part of alternative hypothesis. Questions 2b. The difference between a one-tailed test and two-tailed test. One-tailed test is test for an effect in the one specific direction such as greater than or less than, while two-tailed test is the test for an effect in either direction such as not equal to. Second, one-tailed test has critical region at the left or right side only, so it is one tail of the distributions, while two-tailed test split between both tail of the distributions. And we can conclude that one-tailed test is directional such as mu0 greater than mu1, while two-tailed test is non-directional such as mu0 not equal to mu1. Questions 2c. Mean by a p-value. P-value is the probability of obtaining test result at least as extreme as the observed data, assuming the null hypothesis is true. Questions 2d need to find what is a decision of statistical significant change in mean weight at the 5% level of significance. So we use 5 steps to perform the hypothesis testing. Step 1 is that the null hypothesis H0 and alternative hypothesis which is H1. H0 is mu equal to 6.6 and H1 is mu not equal to 6.6. Step 2, we set the significance level which is 0.05. And step 3, we select the appropriate statistical testing. So we use t distributions because population standard deviations is unknown. Step 4 is that the decision rule. So we know df is 6 and we can get t value is plus minus 2.447 from t table. So reject H0 if compute t greater than 2.447 or fail to reject if compute t smaller than negative 2.447. And step 5, we can compute the value of t and make a decision. So we find that t is 2.158. So based on the Bell-Sav graph, we know that 2.158 is at the region of not rejections. So we make a decision which is 2.158 falls outside of the area of rejections. So do not reject the null hypothesis which is H0. So we can conclude that no statistical significant change in mean weight at the 5% level of significance.
Hi, my name is Beeqk. My mention number is 304590. Now I will discuss about the question 3, which is an A and a B. The A question wants us to list the 5 steps to perform the hypothesis testing. And the B one give the information and want us to conclude the mean salary are or greater than for the fast food worker than the restaurant worker given the 0.10 significant level and compare the p-value. Now I'm going to discuss the 3A, which is list the 5 steps to perform the hypothesis testing. The answer is step 1, set a null and alternate hypothesis, which is H0 and H1. Step 2, select the level of significance. Step 3, identify the statistic. Step 4, formulate a decision rule. Step 5, communicate the t-value, make a decision, and interpret the result. Now I'm going to the 3B. The question wants us to conclude that the mean salary are greater for the fast food worker than the restaurant worker, given the approved information and the significant level 0.1, and calculate the p-value. To answer this question, we have to use the 5 steps of hypothesis testing. First, which is step 1, set the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. The null hypothesis is the H0, and we can write as H0 dot mu of fast food less than or equal to mu of restaurant. And the alternate hypothesis, which is H1, we can write as H1 dot mu of fast food more than the mu of restaurant. Then step 2, find the significant level. The significant level of this question is 0.1. Step 3, select a t statistic. Because this question if the population standard deviation is unknown, so we have to use the statistic. Now, step 4, formulated the decision rule, which is reject at 0 if computed t more than the critical t, which is 1.363. To find critical t, we have to find the degree of freedom first. Degree of freedom is sample size of both, which is fast food and restaurant, which is 6 plus 7, and we get the 30, and then subtract 2, and we get the 11. This is our degree of freedom. And then we use the significant level, which is 0.1, and go to the t table and find the t value. In t table, we find the 11, and because this question is one find the one-tailed text, so we find the one-tailed text of the level of significant level, and then we find that the t critical is 1.30, 1.363. Then we go to the last step, which is step 5. Computed t, make a decision, and interpret the result. Before we find the t value, we have to find the total sample value, which is sp squared. To find this, we have to find the variant of fast food, which is 149.9, and variant of restaurant, which is 250.3. And then plug in this number in the formula, and then we get the 205.66. Then we plug in the third sample variant into the t formula, and then we will get the t statistic is 1.53. Then we interpret our result. 1.53 fell inside the rejected area, so reject had none hypothesis, which is we conclude that the mean salary are greater for the fast food worker than the restaurant worker. Then this question is done. Thank you. Now find the p-value. To find the p-value, we have to find the t-value, which is 1.53, and the degree of freedom, which is 11, and the significant level 0.1. Using this information, we go to the t table and find this, the p-value. We go to t-value and we find the 11 of df, and the row we use the 1Q text because the alternate hypothesis is more than, so this is the right Q text, which is 1Q text. In the t table, we found that 1.53 is between the 5% and 10%. So the answer is the p-value is between the 5% and the 10%. Now I will discuss about the question 4, which is part A. The question wants us to find the decision regarding the hypothesis that the training was effective in improving customer relationship given the above information and the significant level 0.05. For this question, because the sample is dependent, so we have to use the 5 steps of hypothesis testing of dependent sample. That's step 1. Step the null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, which is H0 and H1. H0, we have to write the H0 dot mu less than or equal to 0, and the H1, which is alternate hypothesis, like H1 dot mu more than 0. Why more than 0? Because the question wants us to find the training was effective in improving customer relationship is made after the training. Step 2, find the significant level. The significant level of the equation is 0.05. Step 3, set a text statistic. Because the population standard deviation for this question is unknown, so we have to use the t-text. And step 4, formulated decision rule, which is reject heads, if computed t more than 1.943, which is critical t. And how to find the critical t for this question? First, we have to find the df, which is degree of freedom, which is n minus 1, which is 7 minus 1, and we cut the 6. And then we go to the t table and find. We can find the df in 6. And because this question is is more than, which means 1Q text, which is right Q text, so we have to find the significant level in the 1Q text. And then draw a graph, a normal distribution, and the value which more than the 1.943 is the resistance area. And last, we're going to step 5, which is computed t value, make a decision and interpret the result. Before we find the t statistic, we have to find the mean of the difference between the pair value. The formula of this is sum of the between of pair value over the sample size. The total of between of pair value is 40 and the sample size is 7. 40 over 7 is 2. And then we have to find the standard deviation of the difference, which is 2.082. And then we plug into the T statistic formula, as you can see given by in the slide. And then you get the 2.547. This is our T statistic value. Then we interpret on the result. 2.547 fell inside the rejected area. So we have to reject the head 0, which is null hypothesis. We conclude that the training was effective in improving customer relationship. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Li Chunhong. My phone number is 3045339. So today, I will present about the question 4B. So the question 4B in the question A, they ask how many treatment are there. So we need to find the DF treatment first. So DF treatments equal 2, and the formula of DF treatments will be used to 3 equal k minus 1. So you can get k is equal 3. So the treatment of the treatment are there is equal to 3. So we go through about the question B. Question B asks, what is the total sample size? That means we need to find the total DF first. So the total DF equal 11. So after that, the formula of total DF is DF equal n minus 1. So n equal DF plus 1, so 11 plus 2 equal 13. So the total sample size is 13. After that, question C, what is the critical value of f? So before we find the critical value, we need to know that 1 is the numerator. So the numerator is df1 equal to treatment df equal 2. So the numerator is equal to the denominator df3 equal error df equal to 11 minus 2. So we can get it, the denominator is 9 and significant level is 0.05. So we need to find in our t table, and we know that the denominator is 2 and the denominator is 9. So the critical f is 4.26. Alright, let's go through about the question D. Question D asks what is the null and alternate hypothesis. So the null hypothesis equal mu1 equal mu2 and equal mu3. And the alternate hypothesis equal the means are not all equal. After that, we go through about the question E. The question E asks what is the conclusion about the null hypothesis. So before that, we need to complete the table first. So that we need to find SSE. So SE divided by 9 equal 20. So SE 20 times 9 equal to 18. So the SE equal to 18. And AST we need to use the 500 minus 118. So we can get this is 20 and 20. So the MST we can find it is the 116. So we can find the critical of F is MST divided by MSE is equal to 160 divided by 20 is 8. So for this graph, we can see that the computed F greater than the critical F. So when you reset the null hypothesis, there is a significant difference between at last one pair for treatment means. Alright, let's go through about the next question. That is question 4C. So the 4C asks us use the 0.05 significant level and the 6-step hypothesis testing process to check if there is the difference in the means 5 times among the 3 airlines. So for the first step, we need to find the null and alternate hypothesis. So the null hypothesis equal mu G equal mu J and equal mu Y equal mu C. So after that, the alternate hypothesis is the mean are not all equal. So the step 2 is significant level is 0.05. In the step 3, we need to use the F statistic because we are comparing means for more than 2 groups, because the table is show that they have 3 groups, which is the Gauss, jet race, and Caltrans. Okay, so let us go through about the step 4. The step 4, we need to find about the critical F. So before that, we need to find the numerator df first. So the numerator df is 3 minus 1 equal 2. And the denominator is df2. So we need to use 35 minus 3. So we get this as 13.2. So based on the t table, we can find that the critical F is 3.3. Alright, so for the step 5, we need to calculate the mean of each team first. So the means of G is 50.5, the mean of J is 52.07, and the means C is 55.01. After that, we need to calculate the overall means. So the overall means is grand means. So we need the total sum if all of this group. So we can get it is 1826. So the total of n is 75. So the GM we can get it is 52.17. After that, we need to calculate the SSB. So like the example for group G, so we need to use the 40 times the 50.5 minus 52.17, and we need to use the square for this, so we can find it. The answer is 39.04. So this is the same ways we need to use in the group J and group C. So finally, we compute that the SB is equal to 1026.9. Alright, so let's go through about the next calculation. So we need to find out the SSW. So how to find the SSW? So like example in group G, so we need to use for the each number in the group like 51, so we minus for 50.5. This is the mean for each group. After that we need to use the square. After that we compute it all. We can find it, the final answer is 259.5. So after that we need to find SW, so we need to compute this all. So we can find that the SW is 669.6. After that, for the final step is take 6. So we can find that the AST is 796.76. And then we need to find the MSB. So the MSB we need to find that is 126.9 divided by 2. So we get it is 33.45. And FSW is we need to use the 669.86 divided by 32. So we get it is 13.97. So the credited F is which we use the MSB divided MSW. So we can find it is 0.03. And for this graph, we can conclude that the critical F is smaller than computed F. So we do not reject null hypothesis. There is no difference in the mean phi among the three A lines. So that's all for us. Thanks.